Hey everyone, this is Austin Schur here with We Write About Music, and today I'm speaking with Caroline Parke. She has just shared her newest single and album, but the single we're going to be talking about today is called Don't Look Back. I'm super excited to talk to her all about it. And Caroline, I want to thank you so much for coming on today. How are you doing?
Very good. Thank you for having me. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic and just enjoying this hot day while you're freezing your butt off up north, it seems
Yeah,
like.
yeah, yeah.
You mentioned you were in Canada, correct?
Yeah, so we're just at the freezing mark today. So,
Just at the freezing mark, no big
yeah.
deal.
None of the
Well,
snow is melting today. We still have a
okay.
big bank of snow on one side on the north side of the road that is probably a couple weeks away from being gone.
Lovely. Well, I hope it melts away and you can get into, the spring, summertime.
Yes, our 90-day growing season. Lovely.
Exactly, exactly. Well, I
Yeah.
want to hop right into it here. You have this new song called Don't Look Back, which is part of a bigger album. And I have a million questions to ask, but the first thing I really want to know about is what is it about? What does this specific song mean to you?
Well, that's a loaded question for any songwriter, right?
Totally.
Okay,
It
so
can be
what
it can
ver
be general. It can be, you don't have to
yeah.
spill the secrets, but
Well, it's like what version of the truth should I reveal today,
true.
right?
Got to be mysterious also.
Yeah, no, it's about me looking back on past relationships, you know.
Sure.
So I am married with children. I've been married for 10 years, but I was thinking about not just myself, I suppose, but people in general and how sometimes they reflect back and then they play that what if game and it kind of like detracts from your current existence and how
Sure.
it's a slippery slope to play that game. So the chorus is, "My wish for you is don't look back, haunted and lonely."
Right. I
So
I think that's I mean for anyone that listens, obviously you wrote this because it was a personal experience, but
yeah.
anyone can interpret it any way they want. I think that's also just a good thing to have in the back of your mind as a human.
Yeah,
You
well,
can't dwell on the
I
past.
want to just be a real person. Like I'm not going to claim to be a perfect person. I am
No.
married and yeah, sometimes I think about the past and then I'm
Sure.
thinking, you know what I was I just want that person. I just hope that they don't look back and have regrets. Like I want them to be living their best life today. They are married with children too.
Okay.
And so I was just thinking about that person. I thought, you know what? I really hope they don't look back haunted by what could have been or what didn't happen or whatever. Because,
Sure.
I bet you they're not because he's a man and men are like, they move on, right? Girls are like,
I wouldn't be so sure about
we
that. I
like
guess it depends how
recycle.
sensitive you are.
Girls like to rethink things, a little bit. So I guess that was just a recycle thing, and I was like, I'm gonna write a song about that.
I understand. Well, let's hope that if this specific person hears the song, might take the hint. But,
Yeah,
obviously we don't
yeah,
need to call out any names here.
yeah. It's just saying, you know what? There's beauty in the world, and we had it, and now we don't. And I hope you're living a good life. Yeah,
I think that's a great way to just end that right there.
yeah,
I
yeah.
do want to know though, obviously this album was recently released. Is it a series or like a collection of individual songs with individual stories, or did you write it for like an overarching message from start to finish?
Well, so I just write all sorts of songs. So most of these were written when I was doing my Western album.
Okay.
And then when I lined up all the songs for my Western album, I kind of picked through, and I was gonna do a two album release
Oh, wow.
because I felt like there were two themes going on.
Sure.
And eventually, I just cut out all the emotional girly stuff and left the Western and released a Western album because I really like promoting Western album. It's
Yeah,
like super uh, cut and dry, right? Like there's
totally.
nothing complicated about it. So this is a collection of feminine reality stuff. And I was less enthusiastic about releasing that kind of content just because it is so much more revealing and personal, whereas it's fun to just write fun Western songs people can enjoy and you
Of
don't have to
course.
answer any tough questions about it. But like there are a couple songs on here about, parents in the trenches
Sure.
doing the same. I don't know if you can imagine doing the same thing every single day for like 10 years, 15 years and
Quite right.
having the carrot that's being dangled in front of you doesn't even taste good and you can't eat it for at least 20 years, you know,
Yeah,
like that's your reward, right?
I understand that.
It is very, um, like I always wanted to have a family, and now I'm in the trenches and I'm like, wow, it's a lot of work. And
Yeah,
it's beautiful, but yeah, there are some days where I do nothing for myself. It's all for other people. But I obviously do some stuff for myself because I've carved
sure.
out enough time to release music. So
No, I was gonna say, I mean, I'll speak just, from honesty is
yeah,
I don't have kids. The closest that I've ever gotten, I was a camp counselor for like 10 years.
okay,
So, I know what it feels like for very short durations to
right,
deal with 15 kids who you're responsible for,
yeah,
like sleepaway camp, not just like day camps.
okay.
So yeah, it
That's an
definitely
eye
gives you
opener.
perspective. Oh my God. Yeah. Especially as like a 16-year-old who's like, I don't want to, but it makes you grow up. You're like, I don't really like this kid. He's a pain in the ass, but he's not going to die on my watch. So I have to care a little bit.
Right, yeah.
And for you, now that this is your life and you're living it, the fact that you've been able to carve out time to do this and make music and actually, like you're a person with feelings and emotions, you should be able to do what makes you
Right.
happy.
I think motherhood would be a lot easier if I had zero needs whatsoever.
Yeah, but you're a human,
Right.
so I mean, that's kind of the problem.
But the really beautiful thing is, like, I went to put my boys to bed the other night, and they were both laying in their beds, and I go
Sure.
in the center and I give them each a kiss,
Yeah.
and they were singing one of my songs.
Okay, but that's
And,
the best thing that could possibly
and it
happen
wasn't the
ever.
chorus. They started with the first verse. Like they know all, they're 4 and 6 years old and they know all my lyrics. And I'm just like, okay, that makes it really worth it.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my God, you're gonna make me cry over here. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
totally.
I mean, it's one thing for you imagine like, these huge mainstream artists selling out arenas and people singing their music back to them, but I feel like your situation is a little bit more meaningful somehow. Like
Well,
your kids could completely disregard what you're doing, but they actually have taken an interest.
yeah, yeah, it's really neat.
I love that. How long did it take you to put this together from start to finish?
Well, I had half of it done when I released my other album last
Oh
July.
wow, okay.
So then I just kind of, it was kind of like a fall winter project. So I worked on it October, November, December, January. It was kind of finalized. And then I did the album design. The front
Nice.
cover was designed by a gentleman over in Europe
Cool.
that, yeah, he's a radio announcer. And I kind of, he's on my subscribers list.
Sure, sure.
I emailed my subscribers and I gave them two mock-ups. And I said, "Here, I'm designing my album, and I want to engage with my people, right?"
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to
And
do.
so he wrote back, and he says, "Well, my wife says I have no tact, so take this with a grain of salt. But both of your album covers are rubbish, and here's why." And I was like, "Really?"
Excuse
So
me. Okay.
I kind of like put down the mouse, and then I took a
Sure.
breath, and I was like, "That was rude, but let's hear why."
Yeah.
And I read his, and you know what? He was bang on. So I replied and I said, "Thanks for your feedback. I think you're right. And this is my backup photo. What do you think of this?" And he replied with this very basic design that is easy to recognize the
Yeah.
artist, the name, the title of the album. And I
Everything
was
you
like,
need.
yeah, like, why am I complicating it with funny font and being
Sure,
cheesy?
sure.
So yeah, I was really happy that he did not have to take the time to do that.
Absolutely not. I think
So
that's kind of a good thing, as rude as it may have felt in the moment. There's too many
yeah,
yes men out there
yeah,
that are just going to tell you the truth to put a smile on your face, but
yeah,
there's not enough straight up like this isn't good.
yeah. Yeah, he just said both of those are bad, and I was like, well, that's not what that. Don't
But I
hurt my
work so
feelings.
hard.
I'm a kid, right?
Exactly.
You got to be a little bit, But no, I totally wrote him back, and we had quite a conversation, and we ended up having two video chats
Wow.
like later on to talk about different things. So, anyhow, I did design the back cover,
Okay. I like that too.
and that was one of the mock-ups for the front cover. But anyhow, and then here's the centerpiece, and then there's
Love
like
it.
a cute little lyric insert. So
Cute.
you can go through, since I'm a songwriter, I have all my lyrics in here. So it's like 8 pages of words.
Very cool. That's the best when artists do that because half the time you don't know what they're saying.
Most people don't want to buy a CD Do you know what I mean? Like, why would you buy a CD when you can download it? So I thought if I want to get
Yes
people to
and
purchase
no.
my CD, it's nice to have like a little extra something, right? And
I
when
fully
people
agree.
order these in the mail, like I mail them out, I always put a handwritten letter, and I've been putting
That's
little
so
fridge
nice.
magnets in it and stuff, just
I might as well just ask you now instead of saving it for the end.
oh, what's that?
Where can people buy these CDs?
Oh, yeah,
Do you
on
have a
my
website,
website.
Bandcamp, or
Yeah, I have both. I have Bandcamp and my personal website is carolineparkmusic.com.
perfect? Well, we will have it all linked at the bottom of the article so people
Oh,
can check it out and purchase.
awesome.
Um,
Thanks.
I do kind of want to get a little insight into your process. You mentioned that you're a songwriter, which I'm not
Mhm.
surprised because so much of your music is just like imagery filled lyricism. Is that how you start all of your music? Is it always start with a line, or do you kind of noodle around on the guitar?
Yeah, I usually have to have the guitar in my hands. Sometimes I have
Okay,
like three words that I'm like, that could be something, let's play with that. And usually I have to just feel it,
sure.
and sometimes I don't even have a melody, and then as it literally all happens at the same time, because I've had people ask like, is it words first or melody first? And I'm like, you guys are so linear. Like it's just
It's
all
nothing,
it's a
right?
tidal wave. Yeah.
Yeah,
I actually sometimes, as cheesy as it might sound, I feel like every song has already been written and we are just the interpreters from above.
that's not incorrect. I mean, you think there's hundreds and I mean, literally thousands of songs coming out per day from people that you'll either never heard here or, your favorite artists. They can't all be the same. There's only so many chord progressions in the world. Like,
That's
give me a
right.
break. And there's so many stories that someone can tell. But I think the unique kind of like, I know I've used this word overarching, but specific stories that people can relate to or interpret for themselves,
Yeah.
those are the best because it leaves everything up to interpretation. It's not, cut and dry.
Well, I've gone like out of curiosity, I've gone on websites for like learn how to be a songwriter and
Sure.
stuff like that. And one of the tips that they gave was to find a song that you like and then change the words.
It's not
And
a
I
bad
was like,
idea.
and so I've kind of disregarded all songwriting workshops from going forward.
Sure.
I think that's just completely horrible advice.
Good idea, actually. I'd never even
Well, I
considered.
just it would yeah, this is the thing for songwriters, it would never even occur to me to find a song that I already like, change it a little bit, and then change the storyline. I'm just like they said to change the melody slightly,
Sure.
and I just thought, wow, this is really rudimentary for somebody who has no original. Anyhow, I should
Sure.
not speak so negatively, but I just
It's
thought that was
okay.
crazy, crazy advice to be giving people.
No, I fully agree. It's pretty out there.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, going along the lines of that though, do you find that you're pulling from influences? Like, do you kind of make the music that you like to listen to in your free time?
In an ideal perfect world, every song that I write would be Tall Tall Trees by Alan Jackson, or
Okay.
something like
Sure,
Merle
sure.
Haggard, right?
Yeah.
Merle Haggard's, it's like, eight, what is it? Six syllables and a six pack.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, if I could, I would probably write all songs like that. But with this album, I kind of like let it go, and I let go of genre, and I let go of structures, and I let go of four lines in a verse, four lines
Sure.
in a chorus, because those songs are like super easy.
Yeah.
I've written dozens of them, and they're just like a dime a dozen, blah 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 blah.
But
So
sometimes the best songs are the easiest songs.
they
The
are,
things
and
because
like,
yeah, you have to take your listener into account. Not everyone is trying to get into like time signatures and this and that. Like they just want easy, consumable music.
yeah. Yeah, I did one called Stroll with Me. It was like I wrote it in 20 minutes. There's a couple repeats, it turned out to be the best song on my whole album. That was
That's
in
awesome.
my 2020 album, The Road.
Do you
So,
foresee yourself ever experimenting with your sound?
well, I did. So, there's a song on here. Number 5 is called Lanterns.
Okay.
So I feel like it kind of has a chorus, but not really. It's like three or four different songs
Okay.
all mashed together. and it has this, repeat, chord progression, and then it goes to a whole different chord progression, and it's a two chord wonder for a little while, and then it goes back to this different version of the first version. And I really did not follow the keep it simple formula, or the verse chorus formula, not at
Right.
all. So I don't know, that that song just feels like a snowball just rolling down a hill.
Why do you think you took the chance doing it on that song?
Um,
And there may not be an answer. I just like to know because
it was evolving, and the
you're just like
storyline
gonna
was
go for
evolving.
it.
I was like crying, the whole, like, halfway through
Sure,
the
sure,
song I realized it was about me. I thought I was writing about my daughter, the first verse,
sure.
or for the first section, and then I went on to the next section, and I was like, I don't even know what I'm doing here, but I'm just gonna let it unfold, because it was just an evening alone, like all the
Sure.
kids are in bed, and I'm like doing my thing. I sit in my mommy chair, and I got my tea cart table next to
Sure,
me,
sure.
and I got my little cup of wine, and
Oh yeah.
yeah, like I just kind of stay in my little groove, right? So I sometimes you don't know where it's going, and like the one song, "The Best That I Can," that was a joke. I didn't expect that to be a real song. Like I had a really depressing phone call with my girlfriend who's in a hard state, and I said, "Yeah, that sucks. She just needs empathy, right?" And I'm
Sure.
like, "You're just in a really tough spot, and it sucks, and it's been sucking for a few years now, and I'm sorry. I wish I could change it for you." And so I hung up the phone, and I thought, that sucks. And so
I
I
mean,
just wrote, yeah, I just was like,
right.
I wrote a song for parents that are having a hard time. And so then the chorus is like a mantra of positive self-talk, right?
Yeah.
This is like mummy mental health, right?
Listen, there's a subset of genres for everyone. Anyone can listen to a song and find some like healing in it. And I feel that now this person has a song literally written about them, which has to be one of the coolest things ever.
I don't think she's gonna listen to it.
Why you're not going to send it and say, "Hey, you inspired this"?
Uh, I
I
haven't
would. I
I
would.
haven't
You should
I
be the
haven't
first person I send it
yet.
to.
Oh, but
All right, maybe one day. Maybe one day when the times are bad, say, "Hey, I wrote the song for you 2 years ago," or whatever.
yeah, that's
And
right,
there you
yeah.
go. Are you playing shows, or is that something that you'd like to do or want to do?
I would like to, but
Yeah.
I live so far out in the country, it's like ridiculous. So I
Mm,
have one show booked this summer in the middle of
awesome.
June, and it's an hour from here.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go, there's a steak night. So I'm gonna play for people, and I get a portion of their steak fee.
Cool. That sounds awesome. Will it be
Yeah,
your
so
first time performing, or have you done it in
no,
the
like I've
past?
performed at like jamborees and stuff,
Okay.
but quite often those have questionable sound. And so
Yeah,
I'm not like racing to go there, you know what I
I
mean?
understand that.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to having a paid gig
Yeah.
and having control over the sound equipment. That's nice.
Yes.
And not having to share the stage with people that I don't want to share the stage with.
I love that. Have you thought about a set list? Have you thought about maybe throwing some covers in there? Anything
Yeah,
like that?
I have a cover CD.
Do
So
you?
I do
Okay.
like about old like 1970s country music. So
Awesome.
yeah, I got all the backtracks. So I'm gonna do a set of piano backtracks playing
Okay.
the fiddle, because that's
Love
what
it.
down home people like.
Yep.
And then I'm gonna do a set of karaoke where I'm singing my songs with my backtrack, so it's like a
Perfect.
full band sound.
Yeah,
And then once everyone's done their steak and it's kind of a coffee and dessert time, then I'm gonna do acoustic like finger picking and
that's
just quiet it
awesome.
down. So yeah, I got it all planned out.
Very cool. Well, I know that you're far, but hopefully you can get to like some other bigger venues, I suppose. Like, I don't know. What's the closest major city to you, would you say?
It's 3 hours away.
All right. Well, the opportunity has to be good for you to get out there.
Yeah, like I'm more looking forward to this summer road trip that me and my husband and the kids are supposed to do
There
down
you
through
go.
the States. So
That'll be fun.
yeah, I want to get playing at coffee shops and stuff. So
Do it, plan it out. I'm sure people will be more than happy to have you.
yeah, I hope so.
Um, Caroline, I have one more question to ask you. And
Okay.
before I ask, I just want to thank you so much for your time. This has been great.
Yeah.
Uh, my question is basically for the person that is going to discover you from this, and for the person that is going to listen to you for the first time, what is an opening message that you'd like to say to them?
Oh boy. Well, I'm authentic, and um, I told my husband I don't do it for the money. I do it because I literally feel called to do it, and like with conviction. Some songs that I write, I don't know why I write them, but I feel like I'm meant to do this, and I enjoy every second of it. And I hope that the songs encourage you and help you through your days. I have quite a few songs that are for encouragement.
I
So,
think that's a fantastic answer. And I want to thank you so much again for taking the time. I'd love for you to
yeah.
shout out your music one more time and just give a reminder as to where people can find it or purchase it or listen to it.
Sure, it's on my website at carolineparkmusic.com, and my last name Park has the E on the end. And I also have a Bandcamp, and as well, I have a very active YouTube channel. So if you feel like watching lyric videos or fun videos, I have a lot of like homemade music videos on there.
Perfect. Like I said, we're going to have links to everything so people can choose
Great.
to go wherever they'd like. But Caroline, I am personally invested at this point. I can't wait to see what else comes out. If you ever come down to Los Angeles and you're playing a show or anything like that, don't be a
I'll call you.
stranger. Please
You
do.
betcha.
Please do.
Okay.
Have an amazing rest of your day, and we will chat soon.
Sounds great. Thanks a
Bye
lot.
bye. See ya.
Okay. Bye.